pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Charles DePiero.
Here.
Councilman Michael Markell. Councilwoman Rupa P. Siegel.
Here.
Let the record show that Council Vice President Terrence Van Zora is absent this evening. Council President Miriam Cohen.
Present. Would you please read the Sunshine Law into the record?
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, it is hereby announced and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting that adequate notice has been provided by the following. 1. Posted on the bulletin board within the municipal building on December 27, 2024, and remains posted at that location for public inspection. 2. Printed in the Home News Tribune and the Cranberry Press on December 27, 2024. 3. Posted on the Monroe Township website. And 4. Sent to those individuals who have requested personal notice. In accordance with Chapter 3, Section 17 of the Monroe Township Code, public comment shall be limited to 5 minutes unless further time is granted by the Council President.
Would you please read ordinance for second reading, 092025-022, followed by 023.
Energy Savings Obligation Refunding Bond Ordinance of the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, providing for the acquisition, construction, and installation of energy conservation improvements in connection with an energy savings improvement program of the Township, appropriating $11,500,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $11,500,000 energy-saving obligation refunding bonds to provide for a portion of the cost of such improvements. Ordinance 09-2025-023. Bond ordinance providing for the acquisition, construction, and installation of energy conservation improvements in connection with an energy savings improvement program in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $4,600,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $4,380,000 bonds or notes of the Township to finance part of the cost thereof.
We will be introducing 3 ordinances at the council meeting. They are title only at this point.
No.
No? Then you gave me the wrong, sorry. My apologies.
Want me to read them?
Sure.
Ordinance 011-2025-024. Ordinance repealing Chapter 3, Article 18 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Employment Policies. 011-2025-025. Bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $2,772,200, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,638,500 bonds or notes of the Township to finance part of the cost thereof. Ordinance 011-2025-026. Bond ordinance providing for various improvements to the water sewer utility in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $8,520,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $8,520,000 bonds or notes of the Township to finance the cost thereof. Ordinance 011-2025-027. An ordinance amending Chapter 108, zoning of the Code of the Township of Monroe to reduce the number of market rate units required pursuant to the Township's third round affordable housing obligation and to provide for affordable units to be applied to the Township's fourth round obligation.
Thank you. Item 7 on the agenda, the resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda at the November 5th, 2025 meeting. That's R11 2025-210 through R11 2025-233. Any members of the council have anything that they want held at this point?
No.
We will open for the public comment section. It is limited to agenda items only. Every speaker has 5 minutes. May I have a motion to open the public portion, please?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
May I have a second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. may come to the microphone. Remember, as I said, this is the only items on this agenda. If anyone wishing to address the council, please come forward now. I see you moving right away.
Good evening, Council President.
Good evening.
George Gunkelman, 5 Killicourt, Monroe. On page 6, item 025, an ordinance, issuance of $2,638,000 in bonds. What are we financing?
Sure.
Please.
Council President, so these items are listed on the ordinance itself. There are sort of 7 or 8 different categories. This is very typical of our general capital ordinance every year. We are setting aside some money for the acquisition of furniture and other computer-related equipment that our IT department has asked for. The acquisition of a particular mower for our Parks Department. Our EMS had requested improvements to their storage shed and work and materials necessary for that, and the acquisition of certain other EMS equipment. The acquisition of a sport utility vehicle for the police department, a cab and chassis for the Department of Public Works, a floor scrubbing machine for the Department of Public Works, and then as we do every year, we set aside some money for drainage work in municipal facilities that we anticipate may arise in the coming year. Correct.
90% of what was just mentioned will not last as long as the bond that the community is going to pay off. So we're taking out 20-year bonds?
So the average useful life on this bond, this is the 025, is 8.5 years.
And you think that equipment that you just outlined is going to last longer than the bond period?
Some of it will last longer than the bond period. Some of it won't last as long. This is the average useful life. That's how these things are financed.
Okay. The next item, 26, is water and sewer, which you mentioned was already included in the previous one. Is it?
Water and sewer is not included in the previous one.
You said drainage.
Drainage is not our water and sewer utility. Drainage is our stormwater improvements.
Looks like water, but it's different water.
The water sewer capital ordinance, this bond ordinance for water and sewer improvements has to do specifically with our utility department and their separate self-liquidating budget, which has to do with treatment facilities, pump stations, everything that Joe can speak to much better than I can. But no, they're not the same.
Yeah. I just have trouble with bonding all sorts of stuff that is that's going to have a life that's shorter than the period of the bond. It's just increasing the indebtedness to the future taxpayers for things, as opposed to financing them with existing funds. But if that's the only way we can do it, so be it. In the consent agenda, to item 215, I don't understand cancellation of certification of fund balance in connection. This is all stuff with police headquarters. What particularly is going on in this one item here?
Sure. Council President?
Yes, please.
So we recently served a notice of forfeiture on the general contractor at the police department for failure to complete the construction. I'm not going to get into all the details as there is legal components to it, but this cancels the remaining balance that's been not spent but appropriated to that general contractor to free up that money so that we can utilize it in finishing the project in using other means and other contractors.
Will someone be able to speak to where we stand with this confusion of contractors failing to perform, and
I thought that was just
would that
answered.
be
What-
part of anybody's report this evening?
I don't think it was prepared to
No.
be done this evening. Only simply what we're doing by this ordinance to get the money out so we can begin to make other arrangements.
Well,
When other arrangements are made, I'm quite sure we will be able to address them in this body and in public, so
okay.
that you are aware.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thanks, Joe.
Anyone else wishing to address us, please come forward now.
Good evening, Michelle Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. I want to congratulate all those who ran successfully on their victories. I thank you for your service, and I hope that going forward, we'll hear more deliberation in this body, and we will hear more facts and everything from our elected officials. I would love to have that change, since we're all interested in transparency. But the question I have is on the ordinance 22 for second reading. So I still feel that this energy, and I know we're going to have the public hearing next, but my question is, this particular ordinance, the bond is going to be specifically for the energy savings plan, correct? So it's specifically for the energy savings plan?
Council President.
That's what.
Correct.
Please, correct.
So,
Specifically
and that's where
for
the funds are going to go?
Correct.
And to pay for the third party that will be taking care of that and working on that plan?
Correct. And we have a representative of Schneider Electric here tonight. They are, but I can answer the question. Yeah, they are our general contractor. They'll be hiring subcontractors, and these costs will pay for the cost of materials and construction of that project.
And forgive me, I haven't read the full plan, which I should have, but it is only for solar panels, correct?
No, there are a few other building envelope improvements, heating improvements, sports field lighting at the softball complex. There's a few other. They're all required under the statute to be energy savings related. They can't be sort of anything in addition to that. The bulk of the project, though, is 5 significantly sized solar panel installations, carports, and rooftop solar. So yes.
And in this $11,500,000, are we going to be paying soft cost fees to our own engineering company and all that?
No. So the two bonds together, 022 and 023, all fund this project.
Right.
So it's almost $15 million. And no, the general contractor, this is a design build type of model, which is a little different. So all of those costs, soft and hard, are included in those funds.
Okay, that was going to be my next question on 023. And that is going to be a general obligation bond, correct? Which is different from the bond for 022?
It is different from the refunding bond. It is a general obligation bond, but it's all going toward the same project. These two pieces of financing will fund the same project. The NJ Board of, the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, not to use the acronym. You're welcome. They have in their regulations that we couldn't fund the entirety of the project on a refunding bond. We had to split it up a little bit with mostly refunding and then a general obligation. However, as the BPU has reviewed our plan, the local finance board in Trenton has reviewed our plan, we had a third-party engineering firm review our plan, and the savings that is generated outweighs the cost of this project. So it's a budget neutral project, even though it'll be funded under 2 different bond ordinances.
That's what I was concerned about. And
Correct.
since you mentioned it, sir, Council President, could we have the amount of the savings since it's been calculated?
I believe that you have done some
Sure.
calculations, and someone from the company can answer that. Are you
Sure.
answer
So
that?
as we had that presentation
Yes,
back
we
in
did.
August, I have a couple copies of it here, but not enough for everybody. But we was all handed out in August, and they provided a presentation here. So there's $20 million in savings. when I say savings, that's between cost of electric bills, cost of gas bill, plus the federal incentive that will expire at the end of this year, which is the main reason why we are doing this process right now that started in September, so that we could go to the local finance board in October, so that we could be here in November, have the financing in place by December to access that $3.5 million that's going away.
I understand that argument. The $20 million in savings is over how many years?
Over 20 years.
20 years, okay. So we're spending $15 million now for a recuperation of over 20 million years. As a lay person who doesn't know numbers, that doesn't sound like it's a benefit.
Okay.
But may I ask one more question on that?
Your time is up, so do it very quickly.
Well, the $3 million, my contention with the last time when we had the presentation was, do we trust that the federal government will come through with that $3 million? And if they don't, what is our response and what is our cost to that? Because as we know, the federal government hasn't been very kind to things, especially like the Gateway project, which is far more important to New Jersey. That's it. That's the question.
That is the question. I don't know if we have an answer for you for that
So
question tonight, to do the best we can.
Sure. So we have a provision in our contract under this that if something like that happens beyond our control that doesn't allow us to achieve the savings, then we'd be able to back out of this. But
The whole thing?
the whole thing.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have a question for us or comment regarding an agenda item? Please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, I had to entertain a motion to close the public comment section.
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Nay. Agenda meeting is adjourned. Adjourning the agenda meeting, we will move to our regular meeting.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn, please. May I have a second on that?
Second.
May I have a roll call, please?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Meeting is adjourned. What is the time on that?
6:49.
Very good. Therefore, I'm calling our regular meeting to order. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Thank you both. May I have a roll call?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Motion is, we are in order. May I have a motion to approve the payment of claims per the run date of October 30th, 2025? Motion, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Strange voice. Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 6th, 2025 agenda and regular combined meeting? Motion, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. May I have the ordinance to second reading? 09-2025-022. Would the clerk please read that?
Energy Savings Obligation, refunding bond ordinance of the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, providing for the acquisition, construction, and installation of energy conservation improvements in connection with an energy savings improvement program of the Township, appropriating $11,500,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $11,500,000 energy savings obligation refunding bonds to provide for a portion of the cost of such improvements.
May I have a motion to open a public hearing on this?
Motion.
Thank you so much. May I have a second?
Second.
The public hearing is open. Anyone wishing to address us on this ordinance only is welcome to come forward, please, stating your name and address for our records.
Michelle Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. Since the cost is, on this bond, is $11,500,000, and we are going to reap the benefits over 20 years, what would be the debt on this bond over that 20 years? the actual number?
I'm not sure I
Okay, do
understand.
we have an idea of the rate, first of all?
So we won't know the rate until the bond goes out for sale, but we recently had a bond sale where we did very well at I think less than 3.2%. So, but we won't go out for several weeks, so until the estoppel period on the ordinance ends. So I can't guarantee that today.
Okay, so based on something between what we've already done on a bond and maybe 5% if the rates go up, do we have, I mean, well, it's important to know if we're gonna bond out 11 million plus money, the debt and the debt and the payment on a monthly basis, we put that into a fund, the debt payment.
Correct.
So it adds to our overall debt.
Correct.
But the debt payment on a yearly basis is what? What will that be?
Council President, I think, and I'm looking at Lori, I think on a refunding bond, maybe it doesn't count against our overall debt statement. Am I?
Can you use that, can it go on the
Laura,
record,
can you
please?
speak by the microphone so you can be heard, please?
It's actually a deduction, so it doesn't count toward our total debt.
Okay, so, but we still have to pay the interest
Correct.
on that debt. So what is that approximately gonna be, even if you want to use the old rate, the bond rate?
I don't believe I have that at the moment, but the idea is that the savings that we achieve, and you're right, we do have to pay the debt, we do have to pay the principal, and the interest, both on the refunding bond and the general obligation bond, and then after that, the $400,000 or $500,000 that's left over is pumped back into the program to pay for upgraded heating systems, LED lighting, and sports fields. So that money is then being utilized to do some projects we would otherwise have to pay out of pocket for.
Okay, but with all due respect, that doesn't answer the question. There's a cost to bonding for this. What is our debt cost on a yearly basis?
Do we have that answer yet?
Because if we're saying that we are going, he's going to answer it.
Yes,
but
I know he is.
But my comment during the hearing is that if we're saying we're going to pay this out over 20 years, it's going to be a cost to the community over 20 years. I'd like to know what the debt is on a regular basis, even if it doesn't go into our, but I don't get that financing, that we still have the cost of the principal, but it's not going to be charged against the debt we have. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Because it's a refunding bond, just to answer that last question, because the savings that's achieved is greater than the overall debt, it doesn't count against us in terms of.
So my simple question is, we keep hearing about the savings we're going to overall achieve. I'm just wanting to know what that is.
Yeah, I'll just be candid. I don't have a monthly payment. I apologize, and we can talk about it tomorrow.
Not a monthly, a yearly payment, Madam
We
Council
don't
President.
have it tonight. We can see if we can, when
Okay,
that
so
information is
just-
available, you will get it, as will everyone else who's in
But
attendance.
by that time, the bond will have been approved. So
We will approve the bond tonight.
right, so
Correct.
the information that my government representatives don't have the full information, in my opinion, nor does the public, for the ordinance and the cost of the ordinance overall. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to be a citizen who at $11 million, we should know, if you're going to say we're going to reap the benefits and it's going to cost to us, what is it? What cost will we be?
He's attempting to get more information for you.
And again, my point is, if we're going to vote on an ordinance of this size, we should have all the numbers. I mean, don't you think? No one's going to.
Do you have something to add?
So this debt, the maturity rates, the principal maturity changes a little bit every year, and so we do have a breakdown of township costs. Sorry.
You can give him the mic.
So some years it's projected to be 922,000 up to $1 million.
So let's say between $750,000 to $1 million a year in paying the debt down.
Correct.
Okay, and so our projection benefit to gain is what? What is the big number after 20 years? that we're gonna save? I mean, we're saying we're saving on all this stuff. What's the savings?
Correct. Again, the savings is doing two things. It's paying for the debt service, and it's going toward, like I said, $300,000 or $400,000 in other projects such as sports field lighting, heating improvements at various facilities, building envelope improvements, all of which contributes to that savings.
It is my understanding that this is not an unusual process with this. You addressed it when you addressed the group.
Not all. It's a very
earlier.
common project.
Very common with doing solar funding to have this kind of applying the savings back into the cost, so it reduced it. So at this point, I'm going to say that we have the information we can give you. We don't have anything we can't give you. And we will I would assume during the time that the community will get updates and discussions as it is a comment.
If anybody, I'll get up if anybody else.
Does anyone else have,
the next bond issue?
anyone else would like to address us regarding this issue? Please, sir.
Happy to move it.
Council President?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Something we've all done is take out a mortgage, or 90-some% of us have taken out a mortgage. By law, they have to tell you what the total cost of that is at that point. How do we get here tonight and we don't know what the total cost of borrowing this money is? You can't finance a house legally.
This is not a house.
The bank must tell you that. And we're sitting here and we're told we don't have it, and yet council is going to vote tonight. Doesn't seem right to me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to address us regarding this issue, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, I'm going to close a motion to close the public hearing. Please.
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second on that? Second. Thank you. No objection. The public hearing is closed. I would like a motion to adopt.
Council President.
Yes, sir.
May I
Of course.
interject,
Yes.
please? So I didn't want to make a comment when a resident comes up to the
public time, right.
It's a public portion. I will not interfere with public, but I just like to do a little clarification, if I could, understand and help everybody understand. As the two residents talked about, what is our cost? So it's a 20-year bond that we are going to obtain. The rates are, when we've always received bonds, the 8 years that I've sat here, and other bonds that in another, fire company that I'm involved with, sometimes the bonds increase each year to different interest. But is this going to be the 20-year proposed bond that where the numbers were, the going rate as the second resident spoke about a mortgage, and sometimes you get adjustable rate mortgage, sometimes you get a fixed mortgage, and then sometimes you refinance because the rates go down, and that's the beauty of having that option. And I've seen it in the past where we've done that. The council has done that, where they refinanced all of the debt because the rates went down, and saved the taxpayers money. And it's a smart thing to do. So I just want clarification so everybody understands we're up here and we're doing. It looks like it doesn't look like we're shooting a number from the sky and saying, oh yeah, we're going to save money. There was a presentation in August that was proposed to us and to the public that said we're going to save $20 million. That's what I remember, okay, over a 20-year plan. And with that savings, that all incorporates what the cost is going to be on an annual basis, whatever the principal and the interest is going to be for that bond. It was all included in that savings of the $20 million is the way I understand it. And I hope that we can explain that to the public and to the people, to the council. And if I'm saying something wrong, by all means, tell me I'm wrong. But I want to understand that the 20-year note is we're still gonna save estimated projection of $20 million. Now, things change from the next 20 years, as we all felt are paying this year in electric bills. We don't know what's going to happen in 20 years. None of us have a crystal ball. But if the rates go lower, and if we have a higher interest bond, whoever's on this council, I'm sure they'll do the right thing for the community to say, hey, we have debt that we could lower, and our professionals that we use in a bond council will make a recommendation to us to do that. And that's what they've done in the past. That's what I like to see in the future. And I just wanted clarification on that. And
I can do it.
the last thing I wanted to say was the presentation. The biggest concern I had was going to MTUD and putting panels in a lake. That was my concern. Now, I don't know if there's any other facilities. I would like to go visit them and see where they are, because that, to me, is like putting water and electric in the same kind of bowl, we'll call it, is dangerous. So I don't understand it enough, but that's the only question. And we have the gentleman here tonight that did the presentation, but I just wanted the clarification of the financing.
Sure.
More concerned about that.
Council President, I'll answer the finance question. I'll ask Scott Purdy from Schneider to answer the question about the panels at our MTUD pond. So, and I apologize earlier. I do have the information. They are projections based on a conservative 3.85% interest rate. We may end up with a better interest rate than that. And this bond, the funds within the refunding bond become mature at different points throughout the 20 years. So you've got a slightly different projected annual cost. That's why I said before, in some years, in the early years, you might be looking at more like $900,000 per year. And in some of the later years, more like $600,000, 655, 667, 669. So again, these are projections. All bond ordinances function that way because until you authorize us to go out to sale to actually achieve the financing, we don't know what the interest rate is going to be. So I hope that's.
Talk about the panels on the lake, please, sir. Thank you.
I think it's on. Yeah.
Yes. So for putting solar panels on the pond at MTUD, it has been done before. There's actually a number of them that have been done in New Jersey as well, and we did leverage that design engineer that did those, that designed those in this design as well. In the electricity carrying wires don't go underwater; they actually sit on top of the water, so they're like on floats, if you will.
Could you give the council president the locations? I'd like to go visit them.
The nearest one's in Saraville, and it's been operating for a while. We should go. We should take a look. Yeah.
I would love to go see it.
We'll make
Yeah,
a field trip.
we can provide some locations that are nearby that have those.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Anyone else? Are we prepared to have a motion now? Yes.
Yes.
Please,
Make a motion.
to adopt ordinance 09-2025,
Yes.
022. May I have a second on that motion, please? Thank you very much, gentlemen. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Well,
We move to 09-2025-023. Would you please read that, because it's got all the big numbers.
Bond ordinance providing for the acquisition, construction, and installation of energy conservation improvements in connection with an energy savings improvement program in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $4,600,000 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $4,380,000 bonds or notes of the Township to finance part of the cost thereof.
Thank you. This is the companion to the motion to the ordinance we just adopted. If I would like to have a motion.
Motion, please.
Thank you. May I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
aye.
Any opposed? No. Anyone wishing to address us on this companion ordinance, please come forward now. I wish you'd sit in the front of the room. You know, sumptuous. God,
Sorry for the delay. I'm moving a little slow.
You know, it's,
I'd like to add on what Councilman DePiero was talking about with the pond.
right.
We have in Monroe a lot of wetlands that we have. Some of them are fenced and protected. Is there is there a prohibition from using them? It would appear to me that it would be a lot less expensive to put it on wetlands than on water. And it just something that could be looked into. It may not be relevant to this particular
Discussion, but you would like it on the record.
Vote.
Right.
But while we're investigating locations, I think it would be useful to find out if we're allowed under the management of wetlands that are township property to put such a facility there. Just might be cheaper.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to comment on this, please?
Shell Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. Council President, let me
Yes.
first thank Representative and Councilman DePiero for actually bringing information to it. I'm still a little skeptical about this based on, I think we're getting limited benefit from it. I don't know how much we're actually going to get in terms of improvement. I'm all for conservation. I'm all for the solar energy. It's all about that. I just don't know if the cost versus the benefit on this particular program is worth it. However, I'd like to ask the same question of this ordinance as I did of the previous one about what would be the approximate cost on a yearly basis.
Council President, the two ordinances are they're aggregated. So the cost analysis that I have is for both of them together.
So it includes
Those numbers that I gave before included
both bonds.
correct.
Okay.
I don't have it broken out, one versus the other.
Okay, please understand that when you're asking the public to support these things, it's our taxpayer dollars that are doing that. And while again, energy and conservation issues are utmost in my mind, and I've been doing this for 25 years, asking for consideration for good conservation programs, just based on my experience with the Board of Education and the amount of actual physical construction things that are happening in that bond and that energy saving program, I was a little skeptical that this is going to give us the same kind of benefit versus the cost. So I hope that you will actually shepherd this through. I hope you all have good, happy lives for the next 20 years and watch these things for us.
Planning on.
I beg your pardon?
Planning on the next one.
Okay, good. So please watch out for our taxpayer dollars and make sure this is an efficient use of them. And thank you.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to address the council at this moment? Please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Thank you. You're all moving quickly. John, may I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. And a motion to adopt, please.
Motion.
May I have a second on that motion? That's
Second.
09-2025-023. Thank you.
Second.
May we have a roll call?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 5 is ordinance 011-2025-024. It's a first reading of this ordinance, and the ordinance requests repealing Chapter 3, Article 18 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Employment Policies. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 011-2025-025, bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $2,772,200, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of bonds of $2,638,500, bonds or notes of the township to finance part of the cost thereof. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Would the clerk please read 011-2025-026 and 27?
Bond ordinance providing for various improvements to the water sewer utility in and by the Township of Monroe in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, appropriating $8,520,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $8,520,000 bonds or notes of the Township to finance the cost thereof.
May I have a motion on that, please?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Good. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The last.
Ordinance 011-2025-027. An ordinance amending Chapter 108 zoning of the Code of the Township of Monroe to reduce the number of market rate units required pursuant to the Township's third round affordable housing obligation and to provide for affordable units to be applied to the Township's fourth round obligation.
May I have a motion on that, please?
Motion.
Second. Hello, second. Thank you so much. Roll call, please.
Council President, I
Yes, sir.
just wanted to ask
Sure.
a question. Last Thursday, I sent a request to our township attorney for a copy of an agreement, which I never got a response from anybody. I also copied Kevin and the clerk's office as well.
Council President,
Yes, please.
I remember you asking for an agreement for the North Disbrow Butcher Road property.
Right.
Yeah, so that property hasn't closed yet, so we don't have the contract yet.
All right, so is this affecting that property?
This zoning ordinance?
Yeah, no, this change of the third round, the units, is this
No,
affecting it?
It does not.
Okay, because, all right, so can I get that agreement? There was a draft. We received a draft.
Oh, we might be talking about two different things. Are you talking about the actual contract to purchase the property?
I'm talking about the agreement between Federal Business, JSM, East, South, Northwest, whatever he is on 33, and also the Township of Monroe. And I'll tell you why what my concern is. My concern is when I read the draft that the township does not receive the property until they get a C of O on 1,900,000 square feet of warehouse. That's the way I read the draft. And I just wanted to see if that's going to be the case, on the final agreement. And I asked Lou, but he never responded.
So Council President, there's two agreements here that we're talking about. One is, and I apologize if we didn't provide it to you, I'll get it to you tonight or tomorrow morning, was a memorandum of understanding between Edgewood Properties, the Township, and Federal Business Center having to do specifically with the property at Disbrow Hill and Butcher Road. The $1.9 million warehouse, 1.9 million square foot warehouse project was a separate agreement that this council passed unanimously in September. I can give you a copy of that again, but it was something that was passed and was in all your council materials in September.
Was the draft same as the final agreement?
No, again, the council passed the final agreement at its September meeting.
Okay. So the draft was the same as the final?
There was a final that the council passed at the September meeting, and I can get you another copy.
Yeah,
but
I'd like to have
of course.
Thank you.
Okay. You okay now?
I'm fine.
Okay,
Thank you,
good.
Council President.
Thank you. So can we move forward now?
Yes.
Good. Do we have a motion? We have a motion and a second on the table for this ordinance?
Yes.
May we have a roll call, please?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Thank you. We now move to resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda. Repeating again, R11-2025-210 through R11-2025-233. There have been no, and nothing has been absented from this. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero,
Yes.
Councilman Markel,
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel,
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Carries. We have moved to administration reports.
Thanks, Council President. I'll be brief tonight. I just want to thank the council for, and I know we had a great discussion and a lot of discussion on the energy savings program. I appreciate the council approving both bond ordinances and all the necessary resolutions that come with it. I think, as even some residents acknowledged, there's different components to this. There's a financial benefit. There's an environmental benefit. There's a benefit to residents who, have been asking for covered parking at places like the library. Our DPW has been asking for covered parking for their vehicles to keep them safer from the elements. And what's really sort of exciting about this project is that at places like DPW and MTUD will actually produce more energy than is needed to service those actual buildings, and we'll get a credit toward other facilities that were not eligible for solar, this building included, right? This building, the community center, the senior center, were considered by JCP&L and BPU to be not conducive based on an analysis that they do of energy that can enter the grid, et cetera. But through remote net metering, we actually get to utilize the excess energy credits at the DPW facility and other facilities to offset costs at multiple township facilities, this included. And so we recognize this is a complicated program, and but it really is beneficial on many levels, in my opinion, and I'm very happy on behalf of the mayor that we've approved it tonight, that the council's approved it tonight. So thank you.
Most welcome. Mr. Asimov.
Thank you, Council President. Work continues at the James Monroe Park on the concession stand and park improvements, as well as our pickleball courts and parking lot at the senior center. That work continues there, and we're into November, so as the weather continues to hold out for us, those projects should move forward towards completion. That's my report.
Council reports. I'll begin on my Councilman DePiero. You're scribbling. You might as well start.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I'll start with the paving out in front of the municipal complex. Schoolhouse Road. MTUD did a emergency service out there. Stayed there till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Did a great job. Looks like the water is not leaking, but it's only base paved. Winter's coming. There's some areas in the township that I like to see if we could get top coat paving on these facilities, and these streets rather, because when you snowplow, it's a lot easier with a smooth surface and a finish pavement than when you have base pavement down. And while I'm on that note, I received a lot of complaints, and I passed it along to MTUD and also to Kevin. Pergola Avenue, American Water. Could we get an update on what exactly is going on at that street? They're working beyond the 10 o'clock curfew of the time that our ordinance says for noise. But I'm concerned about the neighbors are complaining. The traffic pattern is a disaster. They go right past my house every night. There's nothing lit at all other than a sign that says, work ahead, road will be closed. So there's a traffic pattern problem. There's not proper. I don't think there's proper traffic. I had a conversation with our engineer, and he said he was going to address it. It did get better, but there's some improvements that still need to be done. But I don't know what the time frame is. Completion date, are they going to pave curb to curb? So if someone can give us some updates on that, I'd appreciate it.
Mark, I think you were talking to that contractor recently.
Yeah, I don't have all the details as far as completion date. We'll take another look at the detour route, whether, I know they did add signage out there. There's a couple of detour plans set up based on the phasing of that project. When they're at certain sections of that, the detour does change. I'll follow up with them on that detour plan again and try to get you completion dates. The night work has been overnight work is based on the approved detours that we did with the police and Jamesburg as well as Monroe. To try to do that project during the day and shut down that road would be a disaster as far as traffic from both in Monroe and Jamesburg. So that's why it's getting done overnight. They're doing the closures at night. But I'll follow up with them on the detours and ensure that all that signage is put back in place if it's not up.
I have a question, Mark. Is it possible that we could notify I'm sorry. Is it possible for the residents in that area to be notified why they're working at night? That may help dim down the complaints when they're aware they're doing it so that they can survive during the day and go about their business. They may not. And if any of you live in that area or here tonight, take that message back. It's working at night to make it reasonable to use the road during the day and go about daily business.
Certainly, I'll follow up on that. There was supposed to be notices that went out to those residents, but that was at the early stages of the project probably. So now that they're in the later stages, there probably should have been a renotice. Again, it's not a Monroe Township project or our utility department.
Right.
It's with the American Water, and it's mostly in Jamesburg, but certainly there are some residents in Monroe who are on that system, and I'll look into that further.
I've been up and down that road a lot, which is not usual for me, and I noticed.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you, Mark. So I was on a road yesterday on Matchaponics making a left, and someone was in the right lane and cut right in front of me to make the turn onto Spotswood Gravel Hill because they didn't realize that road was closed and they got into that lane. So when the lane's open, you can make a right going into the Pines. You have to leave the lane open. But if someone's stuck in that lane that wanted to go straight, they kind of like have no choice but to cut off the person in the left lane, which happened to be me. But at the time, if you look at the detour, the way the pattern goes, it takes them all the way from that intersection all the way to Buckaloo and Schoolhouse. So you really got to look at the plan because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And if somebody's driving that doesn't know the area, then you're really going to be confused. And nothing's lit up at night, and it's dark out there.
And Council President, the other challenge to this, it is Middlesex County's road, Pergola. It's not a township road, so that's another challenge to this project. But I'll follow up with both the contractor as well as the county.
Thank you, because we just paved Lower Matchaponics, and they cut into the street already, and they went into Chiarella's property. And if you look at the pavement restoration that they did, doesn't look acceptable to me. You guys have to look at it. We just paved the road, brand new road, and they just chopped it up. And I just like to see restoration go curb to curb in Monroe. I don't care who's doing the project. Our engineers are engineering. He looks out for us. It's a heavy traffic road. A lot of school buses drive on that road, and there's a school bus depot right there, as a matter of fact. So I just like to see the curb-to-curb restoration for the future once it's complete. So the rec center, did we ever do these safety lights? Because I don't see them on at night when I go down there.
Council President, are you talking about the crosswalk between the two? It was my understanding that was operational, Mark.
Sure, the flashing crosswalk has been installed.
But have you been down there at night to see if it works?
I have not been down there at night, but it was inspected and approved and authorized payment.
Okay, but did anybody see it work? I haven't seen it on.
My office has checked it. I'll follow up personally.
If you could follow up on it, I'd appreciate it. Prospect Plains and Applegarth intersection, I thought that it was going to start on September 20th was the date that I heard. Can we get an update on that intersection? I know it's county, but I'd just like to have an update.
Applegarth and Prospect Lane?
Yeah, do we have a start date?
So the project has already started. So they are on the clock, so to speak, for the number of calendar days. I think it was about 12 months. Right now, utility work is going on, so there's a lot of behind the scenes happening with Jersey Central and the utility poles. I know there was an issue near the railroads with some utility poles. They had a meeting out there about 2 weeks ago, the county and the utility companies. So right now, you're not going to see construction other than utility work happening with regard to utility poles, gas mains, and possibly water as well. There's, I believe, a hydrant that has to be moved. But you're not going to see actual curb installations or paving happening until spring.
Spring. All right. The contractor, Four Seasons Development, is all the offsite complete on their obligations for their approval for Prospect Plains?
All the off-site work for Four Seasons is complete. I'm not aware of any water and sewer that they may have to do, but I believe all that's complete as well.
Everything's complete. Okay, thank you. Federal Road, I sent a couple emails, sent some pictures. Federal Road, Spotswood, Englishtown intersection. If you go down there, you'll see the guardrail. That you need a guardrail in front of the guardrail down there, because the guardrail is just it's being destroyed every day. And I was there the other day, and I watched a local paving contractor who just got an approval have a lowboy take a turn to turn in onto Federal Road with a lowboy, and there was a woman coming the other way, and he went right into the lane. And there's so much activity going on at that intersection, heavy traffic. I don't know, can we put cameras at that intersection? Because who's paying for all of this damaged guardrail if the vehicle just damages the guardrail and leaves? Who's paying for all this stuff?
Please.
Council President, I know we're discussing, placement of the guardrail in a slightly different location and position to try to make that better. I'd have to get back to you on I'm not familiar with us providing cameras at various intersections, but Mark, I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, as far as the guardrail, we're looking at an alternative out there as far as the location. But frankly, you're quite aware of the application and the contractor down the street who had an approval that prohibited his trucks from coming into this intersection. So if you do happen to see his trucks in there, please notify, our zoning office so that our zoning officer can do his job.
See, the residents that called me in that area and complained, this contractor's leaving 3:30 in the morning. And if we called the police officer 3:30 in the morning, or you call him anytime, by the time someone gets to the scene, other than if we had a camera at that location, or if I needed to sit there 3:30 in the morning and take pictures, I'll do it. I have no problem doing it. But the obligation, the zoning officer's not there, I get it, and we don't expect the zoning officer 7/24. But that contractor, just look at the improvements that he did not do on the driveway, and just look at all where the tracks are coming out of his complex. They're all making left turns. And the stone that he has down, not the blacktop, that he was supposed to put blacktop, and he's destroying our road. We just paved that section of the road, and now he's destroying all the guardrail. And then when I was down there the other day, he took a woman coming with a van. She had to stop and back up and make room for him to make the turn. And I appreciate you guys relocating the guardrail, because if you put it in the same spot, we're only going to be redoing it within a month. Because just go down there and look at it. It's unbelievable. So, and I did send some pictures. But if you can get back to me, if we get some cameras at that intersection, I think we need it. I really do. So if somebody gets hurt, it's going to be a bigger problem. Clerk's office did a great job election, and you guys, the complaints, they're getting less and less. over the years that I've been doing this, and all of us been doing it. I got to say, you guys did a great job. The poll workers did a great job. The schools were closed, which was easier. Unfortunately, because we all heard what happened to other towns, thank God it didn't happen to our town. I think going through the election process, everybody's, the nail biters, and you work hard, and everybody works hard. And I want to congratulate all the winners, and I want to say thank you to everyone that participated. It's not easy, and it's also nerve-wracking to families that all involved, friends, neighbors, and all of us. So everybody, I just want to say thank you to the clerk's office and everybody involved, and good luck to all of our candidates that won.
Candidates,
So,
we're all here.
so Board of Ed, and council, and governor, and all the way up and all the way down. So I want to say good luck. Veterans Day, we're going to be on Avenue K
Yes, we
at
will.
9 o'clock.
Yes, we will.
So-
We're never late.
We want to make sure that we have our veterans
Also
and.
like to I'm sorry, make
No.
sure our residents join us.
Yes,
please.
that's what I just wanted to point
Sorry.
out. So we had a situation in our town where Paramount Pictures made a complaint to a local business owner about a logo that he had been using for over 10 years. And it brought a lot of attention, a lot of traction to Monroe Township. And in a good way that he participated, the business owner, the husband and wife that own the pizzeria and restaurant. It was just something that, it's unfortunate that they said that it was their logo and they have the rights to it, and we totally understand how that works. And they were gentlemen, and she was looking at like, oh, we'll just change it. Well, Channel 12 News grabbed the story, ABC News grabbed the story, and Doe Fowlers is the business, and they help the residents and they help our community. But I just wanted to say a shout out, to our business owner. It was all over the globe, and it was something, because a lot of people, a lot of people said, I heard about Doe Fowlers, I heard about it. And, as my son says, no press. If you have no press, then it's not good. You got to be in the press when you're in business. So he says, however you're in the press, that's good. So I just thought that I wanted to say to Doe Fowlers and them, thank you for everything you do for our community, and just to make everybody aware. And just say a happy Thanksgiving to everybody this year. This will be a good Thanksgiving for this month. Thank you.
Councilman Markel.
Okay, I'm gonna make this. I just, Councilman DePiero touched on Veterans Day. I just want to say that one of the most important days in our country is Veterans Day. I know we celebrate a lot of holidays, but it seems to me, I don't know, it just seems to me that Veterans Day does not get the accolades that it's due. If it wasn't for our veterans, we wouldn't have the other holidays. We couldn't celebrate in peace the other holidays that we do with confidence. So just on, as Councilman said, on Veterans Day on Avenue K, we're going to celebrate Veterans Day this Sunday from 12 to 2 at the Senior Center. There's going to be a celebration for Veterans Day.
Sunday, what's the date on that?
9th, from 12 to 2. The tree lighting is December 3rd at the community center. And the only thing I want to say, the clerk's office yesterday, when was veteran? Did we have an election yesterday? I think yeah.
I think we did.
We had an election yesterday. I want to congratulate Councilman Siegel and Councilman DePiero for their win. They were there at 5 o'clock. People don't understand. They were there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they were there till what? You guys got out of there, what, 11, 12 at night? What time? 1?
10:30.
10:30. Oh, that's a short day then. I thought that was short. So they work a day from 5 a.m. to 10:30 on election day. And it's part of our process in this country of democracy and people take it for granted. Some people don't even have 10 minutes to go vote. While these people are working for how many hours, I can't do the math. They're out there all day and all night. Needless to say, the candidates were. I want to tell you something good that happened here. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party here in Monroe actually got together, and we bought pizza for every poll worker. And when we delivered them, I said, this is a bipartisan pizza. We finally did something bipartisan positive in this country. That hasn't gone on for a while. And some of them asked, I said I tried to make half of them blue and half of them red, but the pizzerias wouldn't do it. But anyway, I just want to touch on something lighthearted, something good that happened. A great election. It was peaceful here in Monroe. We had some little bit of quirks here and there that I'm sure Charlie heard about, I heard about. But I definitely want to shout out to the clerk's department. I can't emphasize enough the hard work that they do and what they put up on, and some of the stories they tell me that goes on. They're great. Anyway, just the Veterans Day is my most important message today. Please remember the veterans, and as I say, it's more important than some of these other holidays we have. Thanks very much.
You're most welcome. Councilwoman Siegel.
Good evening. Thank you, Council President. So I want to start by echoing my council colleagues, thanking the clerk's office. Thank you to my council colleagues that won their reelection. But I really do. I thank you, the clerk's office, because I know how much you work hard to get the numbers. Everybody's waiting. So we appreciate everything that you do. Thank you. Just a couple updates from our Cultural Arts Commission. Last month we had our Diwali event, and it was sponsored by the Cultural Arts Commission, and it was a wonderful event. We had a great turnout despite the weather. It was a rainy Sunday, but I do want to thank the committee for a year's worth of working on the event, and also to Greg Slavacek and our entire DPW team. They are amazing, making our event so smooth, plus our OEM and police department and any other departments that help us. I know Parks and Rec also help out. And our committee, each year, we collect donations and gift cards to give to the Betty Schneider Food Pantry. And this year, from our vendors and restaurants that participated, we have $750 that we will be donating to the food pantry before Thanksgiving. And another event I want to share as liaison to the Cultural Arts Commission that's coming up is Mr. Ray on Saturday, November 15th at 3 p.m. at the Rec Center. This is a program that the Cultural Arts Commission is bringing geared to our families, students aged 3 to 8. It's a program bringing positive and inspiring messages about kindness, having good manners, and staying healthy. So please do check out this event, and please check out the Monroe Township Arts page. There's a lot of wonderful concerts and events coming up as we close out the year. Thank you.
Most welcome. I understand you need to address us, sir.
Sorry. Yes, there was
No,
one
go
thing I
right ahead.
neglected to mention before. Just want to update the council that we've submitted our best practices inventory to the state of New Jersey. It's that time of year. Want to thank so much Loriola and her whole team for putting that together, and we passed with flying colors as we always do. But just wanted to make that clear. Thank you.
You are most welcome. We will now open for public comment section. Again, 5 minutes per speaker, please. May I have a motion to open the public comment section?
Motion.
May I have a second on that? Hello, second. Thank you. Good. All in favor? No opposed? Mr. Gunkelman?
It started early.
Good, because you didn't, I understand. Just getting,
George Gunkelman, 5 Kelly Court. Quickly, there are a number of old cemeteries in the town, and DPW has done a good job of mowing, but there is some need for restoration where there are tombstones that are tipped over. And I don't know if that would fall under the bailiwick of the Historic Commission, or if we have an entity in the township that could look into this. And even if we have to do a fundraiser for it, it's worthy of some respect. So I don't know who
Cranberry
would
had a
do
grant
that,
to do that.
but DPW does mow in
Yes.
these. They're not connected any longer to any church or any other thing, and DPW has kept them somewhat civilized, but even the people that work for DPW have indicated that there's need of some additional help there. In the consent resolution, there's an item on 224 regarding a additional $25,000 to the architect for expansion of the parking lot. In the world that I worked in, parking lots were part of the engineer's work, not the architect's.
Sorry, Council President, I can explain.
Oh, goody. Yes.
So, the Alimo firm was handling our architecture, our design engineering of the police expansion, and our construction management of the police department construction. The title that they were originally given was for the police expansion and parking lot. It was just the title of the larger project. Now that is in a phase where we need to seek various remedies and utilize the bond company because we don't have the general contractor anymore. We do need to utilize their expertise and over the last 2 years on the job to help us through that process. So the council a little while ago authorized that extension, $25,000. It's not that they're doing parking lot work. It's that the title of the entire project was police expansion and parking lot.
Okay. Confusing. Understood. Thank you. Item 231. What is this? What's happening under this item?
Sure.
Please, sir.
So, Council President, we had previously purchased the Garvey's property at 405 Spotswood Gravel Hill Road. Now that the demolition is complete and the remediation is complete out there, we are simply applying officially. Executing the grant agreement that would give us the $1 million reimbursement from the county toward that purchase, and we had to do that at the end of our activities. The county, pledged that to us during the purchase, but this is the grant agreement that executes that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I have.
Wow, good. Anyone else wishing to address us, please come forward. Sir. Welcome.
It's not on that subject, it's on something else.
That's fine.
Any subject, sir.
Any subject. Subject to the 5-minute limitation on your time, your name and address for our records, please.
Yes. Peter Economou, 110 Diamond Spring Drive, Stonebridge.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Let's see with my glasses on.
I'm here to speak about the Immigrant Trust Act that is in committee in our state legislature. There are a couple of us tonight. Actually, there would have been more, but you're saved. They're actually attending a town council meeting in New Brunswick where the ITA is on the agenda. At last month's meeting, I and about 10 other Monroe residents spoke in front of the council requesting that you issue a resolution in expressing support for the Immigrant Trust Act. We're disappointed that the matter was not put on the agenda for tonight's meeting and urge that it be scheduled for the discussion at the December meeting. Let's face the facts. Non-whites in our country are being targeted by the Trump administration. They have halted or weakened policies and ignored laws that disproportionately harm racial and ethnic minorities, particularly dark-skinned people. The original premise for rounding up immigrants has been proven to be the sham that we all knew that it was. And while we cannot stop ICE and DHS from conducting these raids, it is within our power to provide some protection to safeguard some of the personal information of our immigrants that'll make it more difficult for them to be rounded up. With Stephen Miller calling the shots on immigration enforcement, there is reason to believe that this crackdown is not going to stop with Latinos, who, by the way, make up about 6% of the Monroe residents, which comes to about 3,000. But also potentially at risk are about 25% of Monroe's residents who are of Indian heritage. Trump has already signed executive orders that are likely to impact this population the most. He has ended the automatic extension of employment authorizations. He has increased the fees for the H-1B visas, and he has imposed stricter scrutiny on green card holders who are applying for citizenship. Keep in mind that U.S. citizenship is no guarantee of immunity. We have sadly found out that American citizens have been caught up in these dragnets and deprived of due process. Yesterday's election was in part a referendum on the policies of Trump and his administration. Most of the citizens of this country are appalled at the way that our immigrant population is being mistreated. 3 New Jersey counties and more than 20 municipalities have already issued such a resolution supporting the ITA, with more to come. It's our goal to build momentum on this issue so that it is moved out of committee in the legislature and up for a vote. If the council needs justification for passing such a resolution, well, here it is. Let's protect our own citizens in Monroe. We ask that the question be added to the December agenda so that it gets the attention that it deserves. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here to actually follow up.
Name and address, please.
Yes, on Peter's words. I'm Gabriella Sedot. I live at 7 Halifax Drive in Greenbrier, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to address the ITA issue yet again. And I'm going to start by thanking you for the bipartisan pizza, which I think sounds maybe not so delicious, but it's a wonderful metaphor in any case. Unfortunately, the sentiment does not translate into reality. And with everything that's been said and done in the last months, I harbor a great deal of trepidation about our security. We currently face severe federal policy and funding cuts that incur human suffering and exclusion, as well as federal incursions into our states' and individuals' rights, which all told imperil our common safety and security. No one is exempt. So while the ITA has been brought up last month and the month before, here we are in the same place we were since we last met. This only underscores that the ITA remains a realistic need. ICE has a job to do, agreed. It is about the methodology which we are in severe contention. That we take action about ICE's abuse of authority remains imperative. That we take action to protect innocence remains imperative. ICE's behavior is only escalating. That is undeniable. And today we see it all over the media, regardless of right, left, middle. Flouting legalities, ignoring justified demands to present IDs and judicial warrants, still manhandling and disappearing people, and now sometimes shooting some, with no accountability. So I ask everyone here, how safe is this for us, Monroe, and our extended geography, not to mention our human environment? Now, ICE's indiscriminating sweeps are capturing American citizens who are getting caught in their web. All this flies in the face of constitutional protections of indivisible civil rights and our liberties. We need recourse. We need protection. We need our local elected officials to take responsibility along with caretakers of social cohesiveness and to take action on our behalf. As a community, we must stand up for mutual safety and community welfare and for the best of our values and morals. This is not only a matter of security, it's a matter of morality and fulfilling our constitutional responsibilities. Because in the end, as history proves time and again, no one, and I mean no one, who's ever taken a couple of history courses knows that no one is immune to illegal, aggressive actions and motivations taken by those in power. It could be me tomorrow. I'm a naturalized citizen. My daughters are naturalized citizens. I now am in the worry zone. When I move from state to state, I take a copy of my passport. That's where we have gone. So it could be me, it could be my daughters, God forbid, or it could be you or someone close to you the day after tomorrow. I urge all of you, please, stake a position. Stake a position that's respectful of the law, protective of community needs, and our local law enforcement as well, which means I am asking you, along with hundreds and thousands of others in the state, to take the moral high ground, the legal high ground, and pass the ITA-supported resolution. It should not be difficult. Let's start by putting the ITA resolution on the December agenda. You'll be surprised how much support you will receive for that, how much respect and admiration you will receive for that, and let's demonstrate community cohesion and strength and pass it. Thank you very much.
Comment? I'm asking you. I can do it. No, you're coming to speak. It's fine.
If you were going to say something, I'll wait.
I'm always going to say something. You can make your statement. You name an address for our record.
Me too. That's why I'm here. Okay, Michelle Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. Resolution 027, please. Talks about the reduction in the market rate units. Can I hear what I think I know the answer, but I'd like to hear it on the record. What for the fourth round of affordable housing?
Where am I
we're
going back to
reducing.
the order?
Sorry, you said resolution. You mean the ordinance?
The ordinance,
Oh, I'm sorry, it is an ordinance, isn't
I'm
it?
just making sure we're on the same page.
because otherwise we will go nowhere.
Let me make sure it is.
Yeah, it's ordinance 027.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I apologize.
Yeah. It actually, sorry, Council President.
Good.
Sorry. It actually reduces the third round. It renegotiates our third round obligation to reduce market rate units from 1479 to 1,000. So it reduces 479 total market rate units, and then it takes another 350 what were market rate family units and turns them into market rate senior units.
All 350 in the fourth round? Oh, no.
No, this
that's
is all
the
third round. This is all third round, yeah.
Okay, I thought we were reducing, it, from what it says, I thought it meant we were reducing, okay, the market rate is actually going to be reduced for 479 units.
Correct.
Right.
And then the other one is going from 350 to what? I'm sorry?
No, of those 1,000 units, right? We went from 1479 to 1,000, and then of those 1,000, 350 will be age restricted 55 and older.
Okay. Yes. For the fourth round, has it been codified that it's going to be a 30% affordable housing units to market rate?
Council President,
Yes,
so it's not codified, but that's what our plan is. I can't speak to other municipalities, but
No, for us in Monroe.
Correct.
Have we
Correct.
codified
Yes.
that
Yes.
in our plan?
Correct.
In our approvals
Yes,
of the new round,
Yes.
fourth round?
We have.
Okay, I want to make sure.
I gathered that.
I was just clarifying. I didn't know if you meant codified in the law, but
That is.
Well, in our ordinance.
in our plan.
Approval process for planning, okay, because you're changing the zoning and all that kind of stuff, so we can put that in there. All right, thank you. That's more than important. And going to as part of this, on the second and third round affordable housing units, my question would be, how much of the affordable units are completed and occupied for those in need?
I don't know if you have the data with you this evening.
Council President, I don't have exact numbers, but it's about 40 to 45%.
Okay. I hope we can really increase that, because everything we hear in the candidates' race for governor was about affordable housing. I think we have a responsibility to put this on the fast track. Let's get it done for the people. The market rate housings are going like hotcakes. The builders are making a fortune. The people in need that this whole premise was for are only 40% fulfilled. So let's put it on the fast track. And I mean, everything we hear is about affordable housing. Well, for goodness sakes, let's get it up to 100%.
Council President.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt Ms. Arminio's time. I had a comment which I can save till later, but just.
Yes.
Okay, when I'm done, then please. I also, the sort of the same question about the, what is it, the VA 20, I think this is a resolution, 226, the VA housing. How many veterans are in that? And, or like almost ready to get in? I know
Had
they
a
might
good
not all
number.
be occupied.
We were very proud of that. Working hard.
Yeah, so let's
6.
brag.
So the last count was 45 veterans, 35 non-veterans.
Not bad. Hard work.
So that's already that's 80. And what do we have, 86?
80.
units?
80.
They're all occupied.
They were all occupied.
So we really couldn't get a better, I mean, 45 is great, but our minimum was 36.
You are aware, because you attend both Affordable Housing Board meetings and because you attend council meetings, and I can't see out of these glasses, but the reality is you are aware that the entire township workforce was asked by our mayor to get on the phone and find veterans. That in addition to that, you made outreach to folks outside of Monroe,
Yes, I'm aware.
aware of the fact that everyone involved in this project worked very hard to get as many veterans as we could. And what we learned was that this was a heck of a lot of very hard work. And so perhaps if we do this again, we will have a better instruction manual going forward. But everyone put forth their best effort. There was no one who did not go to the nth degree to get veterans in there.
Did we review all of the applications? All of the veterans that were eligible got
Were reviewed.
Yes.
You're aware of the, yes, they were.
Absolutely.
And not everyone who applied qualified.
Right, I got
You know that there are tight income requirements. You also know that the mayor sent a letter to the state requesting that for veterans, that tight income requirement be relaxed. So we really went as far as we were able to go to meet the needs of veterans who need housing. And we wished it had all been every apartment, every unit occupied by a veteran. Was not to be at this round.
Make sure you invite them to Veterans Day.
Oh, no question about that.
And last but not least, the green bill, this young lady pointed out, the green bill hasn't been put on our agenda either. I know we had a couple months ago.
Yes, we did.
Is it all?
No, it has not been put on the agenda.
Could we
And I'm not-
consider it, it's a plastic issue and.
Yes, and he
PFAS
told me
and
how
all-
many straws I was swallowing because I insist on plastic straws. So
Ooh.
I took that,
I wouldn't admit that in public.
and I
Okay.
continue to admit
Can
that.
can we put that on the agenda?
I'm sorry, I'm going to take a moment. Do you
I'll
mind?
be very brief if I could, just
Yes,
before the next
Sure.
member of the public. So, just to clarify, so we're, about 40 or 45% of the affordables from round 3 are currently constructed. It's about the same percentage on the market rate. Obviously, that number is going to be higher because there's higher number of market rate, but about the same percentage. The municipality would love to see more, affordable housing at a greater rate. We only have control over the municipally sponsored affordable housing, right? So those 80 units at veterans housing, which we utilize funds from our Affordable Housing Trust Fund. That was more in our control. In our fourth round, we're doing another similar project of municipally sponsored affordable housing units, which we will have, like I said, more control over. But the township's responsibility, and our lawyer, correct me if I'm using the wrong terminology, is to put the zoning in place and create the opportunity for affordable housing. The actual construction comes at the pace of the market and the direction of whoever the property owner is. So just wanted to clarify.
Okay. Anyone else wishing to address us can please come forward now. If not, before I will close the public comment section with a motion, please. And a second. And all in favor?
Aye.
No opposition. I'm sorry that the folks who spoke about the previous resolution left, because I wanted to point out to everyone who is here that our representatives at the state level, both our assembly people and our senator, are enrolled in that bill. They are current supporters of that bill. They are there because they believe it's important. We would normally not comment on it. It's already done. The only letter we would send would be to say, please support this bill. They already support the bill. Their names are on it as supporting of the bill. So those of you who remain, I at least can tell you that. The bill on
Immigration
Trust Act.
Immigrant Trust Act. Their names are already on as supporters of the bill, right? So it is not that we have chosen to ignore and say, but we know that they are supporting that bill. And as citizens, it would not be it is within your power to call their offices and say, I know you are supporters of the bill. Move it. Get it out. Right? So we have anything else that we need to do now?
Most important thing.
What? I'm going to adjourn the meeting. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
Motion.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. And the time is?
The time is 8:03. We're adjourned.
We're